what does beauty even mean? How could you put beauty in a sentence?
For me, it's always linked to a feeling.
Something from the inside that radiates out.
No matter what context it's kind of used in, it's always perceived as something positive.
Wanted for who you really are.
For me, when I feel beautiful, it's like when I know that my mind is right.
Some people would just be like, I like the way you move or whatever. So sometimes I did feel beautiful when I used to dance.
As a woman, you are most of your life is trained to believe that everything is an aesthetic.
A physical representation of what that person or object might look like.
Especially in our society, it is more on a physical kind of scale.
It's a very elevated word.
Because they all come with like quite different connotations, don't they?
Yeah.
Gorgeous I associate with like camp men.
I think it's very rarely used now.
I see it, and it's very physical to me, like gorgeous.
Hot or you're sexy or you're whatever, but it's not beautiful. That's why I've never experienced that word.
I got an understanding of beauty from looking at what the world, how the world defines it in many different ways.
An image of beauty that the media can kind of throw out there, probably to maintain their power.
Most like products for women are trying to cash in on women not feeling good about themselves.
Someone very cleverly set down and thought about and constructed, and it's unattainable.
Yeah, it can be quite depressing and alienate us from what we already look like.
If everything is beautiful, why would you need them? Why would you need the media? Why would you need anything to tell you that you are? You would just know.
It isn't an organic idea about being beautiful. It's trying to fit into something that is not made for us.
The worrying things, I think a lot of young women aren't necessarily aware of the construct they live in.
So they don't have anything to identify with other than what they see in society.
It must be much harder for young women now to find the space to experience that when they're bombarded with so much media that tells them it is an incredibly superficial thing.
It can affect me sometimes, obviously, but I don't try to get too wrapped up in it.
In terms of like the classic notions of, you know, beauty being, in my opinion, described as being white and blonde and blue-eyed and that kind of stuff, and being a certain way.
Hayley, you've got the good hair. My other sister, Remy, she's got green eyes, she's got hazel eyes. My other sister's fair skin. And it's ridiculous. These are the attributes that one of my grandparents always wants to go on about. This is what makes you beautiful, this is what makes you... It's sad.
We take cues from our society in terms of what is desirable and what isn't in a physical sense.
In terms of unlearning, you have to really like take a look at yourself in the mirror.
Who you surround yourself with and how much time you allow on your own.
Challenge that in the sense of, is that truth? And if it's not, why is it not? Or where does it come from?
And that comes with self-love, self-care, learning about your heritage.
And then wanting to be in a position to actually unpick and unlearn everything that I've been told is beautiful or can be considered beautiful, and making it, defining it onto my own terms.
Beauty can be fat, skinny, it can be anything kind of thing.
I think my mum, maybe she reinforced our own personal beauty.
I can identify with other types of beauty.
If I allow myself a lot of time to experience art and to have other experiences of beauty around me, and if I'm around people who have that depth to them, then it changes my perception of it within myself.
I think it's very important for you to come to your own knowledge of what beauty is. And that is not even to say that it will stay the same, it could change, but it's very important for you to know it for yourself.
I think it's really important as well as that, you know, individual journey to feel kind of group responsibility for how we talk about each other.
It's important that we as women also allow for that journey to happen, encourage that journey to happen, give as broad of a sense of it as we can to each other.
Because a lot of people, when they don't feel beautiful, it comes from having heard other people's judgments of what they look like or what other women look like.
Passing that message on, and that could be through our friends, that could be through our children.
Trying to support each other and trying to make each other feel good.
It doesn't have to be having huge let's burn down Parliament.
You can be beautiful in more ways than one.
That idea of beauty that you're talking about, where it's a little bit removed and it's a little bit special and pure, you now have to move into a different perception of beauty. If you're ever going to get back to that idea, you have to take away the idea that a woman is just those two things. You have to find something else that replaces it.
Women are the gatekeepers of the world. The world cannot continue without women.